Afghan leaders say they need $5 billion a year from NATO for security forces. They've been in charge of their own security since taking over from NATO last year, but they still rely heavily on foreign forces, especially while they build an Afghan air force.
I joined the army with big dreams, but when I came, I saw many problems. We do not have helicopters or an air force to provide us support. We also lack night vision goggles. If we get wounded with no air supplies, we will die.
At least 30 police cadets were killed when their bus was blown up by Taliban suicide bombers last week. The Taliban has regained control of a number of districts in recent years. There are around 320,000 Afghans in the police and military. Their leaders say they need to be paid, receive better training and be provided with more equipment.
We are hoping to achieve the assistance of the NATO member countries for the next 5 years for Afghanistan. The commitments were put together in a framework after signing agreements in the past and should be organised in a way to answer the needs of the fight against terrorism in the present state.
NATO troops have been in Afghanistan since 2002, a year after the US began to combat al-Qaeda and the Taliban following the 9/11 attacks. 130,000 mainly US troops were fighting in Afghanistan at the height of the campaign. Since 2015, NATO's role in Afghanistan has been described as a support mission. It remains their largest operation with nearly 13,000 troops from 39 countries. More than half of them are from the US, and despite plans to cut back, President Obama says they'll keep more than 8,000 troops there into next year. Other major contributors are Germany, Georgia, Romania, Turkey, Czech Republic, UK and Poland. NATO members have to consider problems within Afghanistan's forces.
The security sector faces huge corruption in different aspects. Up to 50% of the security forces are said to be ghost soldiers, and there are issues with the appointments and promotions, and as well the involvement of senior security officials in illegal mining and also narcotics business.
NATO leaders have already agreed to help fund Afghan forces until 2020. But with major security challenges both in Afghanistan and in other parts of the world, there's a lot to consider before NATO decides how much to spend in the future. Caroline Malone, Al Jazeera.